Wife cheated and got pregnant. Husband's ruthless revenge, shocking Reddit cheating stories. Jack, a dedicated IT consultant from Chicago, begins his harrowing tale by addressing the audience directly. He introduces himself as a man driven by his love for his family, his wife, Emily, and their 6-year-old daughter, Lily. Despite his demanding career, Jack has always worked tirelessly to provide them with the best life possible. However, as he sets the stage, his voice grows somber, and he poses a haunting question. What happens when the person you trust most shatters your world in unimaginable ways? Jack recalls the days leading up to his work trip, a critical business meeting in New York City that promised to secure his family's future. While preparing to leave, he noticed Emily's growing distance. She seemed distracted, offering little affection, which Jack chalked up to the stresses of parenting and running the household. Pushing his concerns aside, he focused on the opportunity ahead. Before leaving, Jack ensured everything at home was meticulously arranged. From Lily's favorite meals to a detailed schedule for Emily, he believed he had done his part. Hugging Lily tightly, he promised to bring her a gift from New York. Emily's lukewarm goodbye, a half-hearted smile, and an indifferent sure, left a faint nagging feeling in Jack's heart. Still, he drove off, unaware of the storm brewing in his absence. As soon as Jack left, Emily's demeanor shifted. Donning a provocative outfit, she grabbed her purse and left the house. Although she initially considered hiring a babysitter, she canceled at the last moment, leaving Lily home alone. With her phone turned off, Emily vanished into the night to meet her lover at a downtown hotel far from their suburban neighborhood. Back at home, Lily awoke to find the house eerily quiet. Confused and frightened, she called out for her mother, receiving no response. She attempted to contact Emily, but her calls went straight to voicemail. As fear turned to hunger, Lily ventured into the kitchen to prepare a snack. A tragic accident ensued. Whether from a fall, an allergic reaction, or a kitchen mishap, the result was catastrophic. Alone and unconscious, Lily's cries went unheard. Meanwhile, Jack's world began to unravel during a work dinner in New York. His phone buzzed. Expecting an update from home, he answered with a smile that quickly faded. On the other end was an emergency room nurse from a Chicago hospital. Lily had been admitted in critical condition after a severe accident. She needed an immediate blood or organ donation, and time was running out. Heart pounding, Jack rushed to the airport, his thoughts racing. He repeatedly called Emily, but every attempt went unanswered. Frustration and dread consumed him as he boarded the next available flight, desperate to reach his daughter in time. Upon arriving at the hospital, Jack was met with devastating news. Despite the medical team's efforts, Lily had not survived. The weight of the loss crushed Jack. Through tears and disbelief, he learned the truth of Emily's betrayal. Her absence that night had left Lily vulnerable, and the consequences were irreversible. Jack's carefully built world lay shattered, a poignant reminder of the fragility of trust and the far-reaching impact of our choices. Jack collapsed into a chair, his mind spinning with a storm of emotions, grief, guilt, and anger. He blamed himself for leaving his daughter behind, but his anguish soon turned toward Emily. How could she abandon their daughter when she needed her most? Jack's devastation was compounded by the mystery of Emily's absence, leaving him with a painful truth. The family he had once relied on had shattered in the most tragic way imaginable. The morning after Lily's death, Emily returned home. She walked through the door, her appearance disheveled, the faint scent of perfume and alcohol lingering on her clothes. Unaware of the catastrophic events of the previous night, she casually dropped her bag on the counter, assuming Jack was still in New York. But when she spotted him sitting silently at the kitchen table, his face pale, his eyes hollow with grief, her confident demeanor faltered. Jack stood and approached her, his voice trembling with barely contained rage as he demanded to know where she had been. Confused and defensive, Emily tried to deflect, mumbling something about staying with a friend and needing a break. Jack cut her off, his voice rising as he revealed everything. The hospital's call, Lily's condition, and how he had rushed back, only to find it was too late to save her. Emily froze, the color draining from her face as the weight of his words sank in. When Jack demanded to know why she left their daughter alone and why her phone had been off, Emily stumbled through weak excuses, claiming she didn't think it was a big deal and needed time for herself. But Jack was beyond listening. His grief had transformed into fury as he confronted her, accusing her of not just betraying their marriage, but abandoning their shared responsibility as parents. "You left her," Jack said, his voice breaking with emotion. Your selfish choices led to her death, and nothing you say can change that. The confrontation ended with Jack walking away, his decision already made. He revealed he had filed for divorce and declared he could never forgive her. Emily was left standing alone in the house, overwhelmed by the devastating consequences of her actions, as Jack departed to mourn Lily in peace. This harrowing confrontation became the emotional climax of their tragic story, highlighting the fallout of Emily's betrayal and Jack's determination to rebuild his life. It underscored themes of accountability, trust, and the profound impact of selfishness on family bonds. As the story neared its conclusion, Jack sat in quiet reflection. His voice was filled with sorrow and resolve as he spoke directly to the audience, recounting the events of that fateful night and how they had irrevocably changed his life. Losing Lily was a pain beyond anything he could have imagined, and Emily's betrayal only deepened his wounds. Jack admitted he still struggled to forgive himself for leaving on that work trip, even though he knew he couldn't have predicted the outcome. He reflected on the tragedy as a culmination of misplaced trust and selfish priorities. With a heavy heart, he emphasized the importance of trust, not just in relationships but in the responsibilities of being a parent. He urged viewers not to take their loved ones for granted, reminding them to prioritize family over fleeting distractions. In his final moments on screen, Jack looked directly into the camera, his expression somber. "What would you have done in my place?" he asked. "Could you forgive someone who cost you everything?" He encouraged viewers to share their thoughts, inviting dialogue about trust, betrayal, and accountability. Jack thanked them for listening to his story and reminded them to cherish their loved ones every day. He ended with an invitation to subscribe to the channel, emphasizing the importance of learning from real-life experiences and fostering a community that values meaningful storytelling. As the video closed, Jack's parting words lingered. Let's continue exploring these heartfelt journeys together. And remember, life is fragile. Don't wait to show the ones you love how much they mean to you.